Do you ever feel that drinking is your reward and you deserve it? Maybe you've had a hard week at work and it gets to Friday evening and you think that alcohol is your reward for that hard week, that all that time and effort that you've put in, you really, really deserve it. You deserve to have a drink. Well, if you feel that way, let's look at what you can do about it. When I was drinking, I absolutely used to reward myself with alcohol. In fact, whether I was feeling good, bad, or indifferent, there was always a reason. But very often that reason would be as a reward, particularly as I got towards the weekend. Thursday night, Friday night, it all became a time to reward myself and give myself a well done because I absolutely deserved it. Well, after I quit, the first thing that I did was I found new rewards. I found ways to reward myself that weren't going to have a negative impact on my life. And it took a bit of time to find those new things, but I found them in the things that used to bring me joy. It might be walking in nature, it might be exercise, fitness, art, crafts, music, whatever it might be. There's plenty of things out there that can reward us. And one of the best things that I would do is on a Friday evening on my way back home after work, I would swing by the supermarket and I would go and browse the alcohol-free drinks and I would treat myself to something nice, often with a small tub of ice cream as well, and that would be my reward for the evening. It gave me something to look forward to. And for you, it might be a nice bath with bubbles, candles and music. Or it could be watching some episodes of your favourite show on Netflix. There's plenty of things that you can reward yourself with. The problem with alcohol is that we attach it to so many things. We pair it up with the things in our life that bring us joy. And then we give it the credit for the joy that those things bring us. So for example, you might watch your favourite show on Netflix and think that if you drink a bottle of wine with it, it makes it all the better. But actually, you're giving alcohol the credit for the joy that that TV show would have brought you anyway. And you need to look closer at this. You need to go and experiment. And the experiment you need to do is to do those things without alcohol and notice how much joy they bring you anyway. And that actually you were falsely giving alcohol the credit for the joy that you got from those things. Once you learn to break those associations, to end those pairings that you've created, you're free to walk forward into an alcohol-free life. Another tip if you drink as a reward is to make sure you've always got your favourite alcohol-free drink close to hand. Now, I have mine in my favourite alcohol-free glass, which is the glass that's, for me, it's only for my alcohol-free drinks. Nobody else is allowed to use it. So make sure you keep your fridge full of your favourite 0% alcohol-free beer. Make sure you have an alcohol-free botanical drink like Seedlip close at hand, so that that becomes your go-to at the times when you feel an urge to drink. Trust me, once you're sat doing the things that bring you joy, you won't even notice that there's not alcohol in your glass. So long as it tastes good, you are not going to tell the difference. So make sure you keep those close to hand and find something that really feels like a new go-to drink for you, and have fun exploring the online stores that sell alcohol-free drinks, or get out into the supermarket and go and browse the aisles and find something that really feels like a good fit, a new replacement alcohol-free drink that you absolutely love. It's also important to remember and remind yourself exactly why you're doing this. Now, before I quit drinking, I took my son on the trip of a lifetime to Tokyo. And one of the first things we did when we got to the hotel room was we went to the supermarket over the road. Now, I'd made an excuse for us to go there to him. But of course, the real reason I was going was to scope out the wine and to get myself a couple of bottles to make sure I had some for the evening. I put alcohol ahead of our dream trip to Tokyo. And I use that as a reminder of why I've chosen to live an alcohol-free lifestyle. And I keep a photo on my phone of my son and I on that trip in Tokyo. Now, to the casual observer, that picture means nothing. But to me, it means so much. It reminds me of a time in my life when I put alcohol ahead of the most important person in my life, and probably the most important trip that he and I had ever been on. It was so special to us both. yet alcohol was there interfering with everything. So make sure you have a reminder, something that reinforces to you exactly why you're here. And it might be a photograph, it might be something you keep on your phone, in your purse, or maybe something that you attach to your keychain. It doesn't have to be an image, but think about what might work for you and make sure you've got something that you interact with multiple times a day that just gives you a reminder of exactly why you want to put your alcohol-free life at the forefront and no longer put alcohol in front of the important things in your life. It's also important to ask yourself the question, is alcohol really a reward? If you're using alcohol as a reward, particularly towards the end of the week, and thinking that you really deserve it, is alcohol really a reward? Play it forward. Think about the last few times that you've drunk. For me, I would get snappy with my wife and my son. I wasn't a nice person to be around when I'd been drinking. Often I would drink until I made myself sick or I fell up the stairs. The room would spin when I went to bed, and I would drink so much that I'd wake up with an appalling hangover that would usually wipe out my weekend and definitely leave me with little motivation, barely any energy, and I would just want to stay in bed for as long as I possibly could. The weekends became a write-off, especially when I was drinking because I felt like it was a reward and I felt like I would deserve it, because I would always drink way more than normal. I would often work my way through an entire wine box. So think about whether that is really a reward. Are all of those things a reward? To me, they're all negative consequences, and it's important to really look at this. Put that belief statement on the stand and act like the defense and the prosecution. Ask yourself, what evidence is there to show that it's a reward? Sure, there's 20 to 30 minutes of that euphoric feeling we get after the first drink, but after that it's all downhill. It's all negative consequences, especially as our brain starts to release dynorphin to try and bring us back to a state of homeostasis, that baseline of happiness. Dynorphin is a downer chemical, so after that period of euphoria, our brain is doing everything it can to get us back down again. And this can cause emotional imbalance. It can cause us to feel edgy and up and down. And that's just after the first drink. Is it really worth it? Is it a deal that's worth doing? So ask yourself and get super clear. Use your journal. Investigate whether it is really a reward or whether that's actually a false belief. And then if you realize and recognize that yes, it's a false belief, start to look at how you can break the patterns and how you can form a new belief that actually you can relax, you can reward yourself, and you can deserve so many other things in life that don't involve alcohol. Now, there's a video next to me that will also help you on your journey to alcohol freedom. Click on that and you can watch it straight away. And make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. There's new videos every Tuesday and every Thursday, and I'll see you again very, very soon.